What is up, everybody? And in today's video I'm going to be discussing the top 5 money making methods on the DonutSMP. So let's get right into it. So they are going to be in chronological order. So 5th would be the worst, 1st will be the best. So starting it off, I am going to put at last. Y'all might think this is crazy, but since the buff of the new update, I'm gonna putting bones into sea pickle farms. So they were like the best money making method, but since the buff of other things, they're honestly not the best anymore. So you would like make a collection system, and all the hoppers would feed into your droppers, and then I'm not gonna explain the whole farm, but then it goes through, and then you want to make a chest system. So you want to get all your farms hooked up to your chest, and all of it into a water stream, so you can just throw your bone meal down. And then you can just come down like right here, get your sea pickles, grab them, and then do /sell, and then put them all in there. And there's about 2k. So with the 1.4 multiplier is what I have, and I get around 10k in inventory. So it's not a bad money making method, but it takes a ton of grinding, and I honestly don't think it's worth it anymore. So let's get into our 4th money making method. So I actually do not have this method in me anymore, but it is actually getting villager books and then selling them on AH or in a shulker box. This can be very underrated, and it is very overpowered. So look, /AH knock. Just look up /AH knockback, and then you go to the cheapest one. Right now, well, they're selling for really cheap right now. But then at nights, they'll normally go for around 30 to 40k a book for knockback. So what you want to do is get around like a melon farm, and then get farmers and zombify them down to 1 emerald, and so it's only 1 melon for 1 emerald, and then use that melon farm to get emeralds, and then with those emeralds you want to buy knockback books. Knockback books are very underrated and used to be the best money making method for me. So now let's get into our number 3 spot. Our number 3 spot is starting to go with spawners. So spider spawners are also very underrated, and you want to grab this string, and I can't really give you an example because this isn't all the way full, but when this is all the way full, you do /H string, and then you want to look at the shulker boxes. Right now, the cheapest one is 25k, but once that one sells, they're all 90k. So you want to sell, once you get a full one, you want to sell it for around 75k to 65k. And that should give you a ton of money. Now, spider spawners are a little bit hard to get since they're 750 shards each. But it's not it's time consuming, but you don't have to be there. You can just AFK, do /AFK, and then get shards. Like click on one of these that's not full. If they're all full, you're out of luck. You just wait. But if they're not all full, you just click on one, and it'll bring you to this AFK area. You just leave it on, and I normally like to jump because my monitor will turn off. And I just sit there like this in the AFK arena, and then it gives me shards, as you can see on the right side of my screen. And then if you do /shop, you can buy spawners and you can buy keys. So spider spawners are on the more expensive side. They are 750 shards. And then so yeah, that's our top 3 money making method. Now let's move to our top 2 money making method. So our top 2 money making methods actually with spawners too, and so is our top 1. Spoiler. And it is going to be getting skeleton spawners. They're a lot cheaper, and you get the bones, and you make a shulker of them and sell them. So kind of depends what the auction house is at. I sell mine for, at the cheapest, like 30k. So you want to get not the bone meal, you want to get the bones. So right now the cheapest one right now is at bones. Let's see. Cheapest one right now is 40k, but it will sometimes jump to higher and sometimes jump to lower. So I normally sell mine around 35k at shulker, and since these spawners are easier to get, right now I have 24 spawners, so I get them pretty fast, and I can just load them into a shulker, sell them for 35K each, and then like 10 shulkers, $350,000 right there. And like, if you have like 50, you'll get that in like 30 minutes. It's crazy. And that brings me to my top 1 money making method. This method is actually insane. The top players on the money making scale at spawn actually use this method. It is very, very, very underrated for what it is. And as it's underrated, a ton of people use it. So it's very time consuming, but you don't have to do any work. You just AFK for shards, give it around 20 days, and you'll be rich. So you want to get iron golem spawners, like Snorkale, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He uses this method. And so you want to get your spawners, and you want to load them up in, so you want to load them up in a bedrock area that's literally a 1x1 hole covered with bedrock here, 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 and then you can just block it off with 1 obsidian right here. You want to silk touch it, like all the surrounding blocks, so if people trace it, they can't just find your cobbled deep slate and like see where it is and then see the obsidian, just break it. Well, actually you would want it to be fully bedrock and then have this one open too, so you can place your spawners here and then you can spawn here. And then once you do that, it's pretty much impossible for anybody to find, because then they have to find the right entrance in the bedrock. And that is if they know where it is. Like if they're hacking, then they'll know where it is. But like if not, it's pretty much impossible to find. So you want to get around, so this is very hard, but the more money you get, like so once you have around 25, you're pretty good, because then you can just keep selling them. And from 1 night of AFK, you can get like 3 because of the money you make. And then you can TPA to people that are selling them and get more and more and more. And once you get around 500, you'll become one of the richest in like a matter of like 5 days. Give it 5 days and you'll be the richest person on the server. It is so underrated. I don't hear people ever talking about them. I hear people talking about spawners, but never iron golem spawners, how like underrated they are. So once you get all your spawners and you collect all the money, then you can do /AH and just gear yourself. So you can go here, like 43,000 is actually a really good price for armor. And you can buy that and then go to the RTP zone with people, or you can go right here to the duels and duel people and then get the gear and sell it or keep it. You don't really need to sell it since you're probably one of the richest on the server if you do this. There's also another money-making method for number 1 on my list. It is auction house flipping. I started with about 50K, and now I have no money, but I have a $400,000 worth elytra, and I had 2 gear sets earlier. So it is also very underrated for what it is. And that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this video, and hopefully I can have some more DonutSMP content coming out soon. Please like the video and subscribe. It really helps me out, and that also helps me get media. And when I get media, I can have a lot better content coming out. I'm working towards media. If you don't know what it is over here at spawn. I'm gliding with my elytra, and it is right over here. And these are the requirements. You only need 1. And I'm trying to get the 5K views on a YouTube video. So if you would like this video and subscribe, so it would pop up on more people's homepage that like the DonutSMP. So that means I can get media, and then we can have a lot better content coming out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Zachy out.